people don't ask men that.
They don't.
They don't ask men that, because they like to make women feel like they're not on the level of getting married, anybody wanting to be with them. When a girl is dating a guy for 6 years, the family is asking her, why he ain't married you yet? But nobody's asking that boy, hey, why you ain't married her yet? What's your problem? Why the men in the family haven't come to him and say, hey, man, what's your issue? You gonna marry her or not? Or you gonna make her a whore for 6, 7, 8 years? Where the daddies at? Where the big brothers at? That step up to these men and say, you done had a kid with her? Y'all live together? Why won't you marry my sister?
It was this woman, I can see if I can find the clip. It was this particular woman that was mad, saying that how do men, black men in particular, go out here and impregnate black women and be with them, or be with them in general, for 5, 6, 7 years and not marry them. And she was kind of talking about her daughter boyfriend not committing to marry them, and she's like, well, men, other black men or elder black men or black men around them need to hold them men accountable about marrying them, or maybe like her brother or dad pulling them to the side and saying, why you ain't marrying them? Or maybe their own father and their own brother say, why you ain't marrying them? See, remember on the Bobby Brown, I don't know if y'all watched the Bobby Brown documentary, the biopic they did, where they had the actor that played him, not the one they just released, I think on BET or Prime or something like that, where it's them talking. It was kind of like the spinoff of the New Edition movie, his movie, right? And, his family came, Whitney Houston that went to the bathroom, and his family had went to him like, yo, how you ain't married Whitney? Yeah, what you waiting on? I'm going to tell you this, like, first and foremost, I could have made this video into his own. Men are not measured on being married. The only requirement for men to be married is when they are the face of a business, or when you buy into that Hollywood industry or that music entertainment industry, and they, or when you marry in the corporate industry as well too, you tend to get more, promotions and positions of power from the simple fact of, they want to control you. So if you want to do your own thing, we can control you. That's why Jeff Bezos keep getting married and stuff. They want to be able to control you. They want to be able to have control. So when you young, or if you a bachelor, you ain't got no woman that can, kids, they can't really control you. But other men don't measure a man's success or greatness by being married. We don't. And that's just, women can't understand that. They always want to talk about thinking like a man. You can never, y'all delusion, most of y'all make sure I stop y'all from thinking like a man. Because if you can stop and think like a man, right? If you can stop and think like a man, most of y'all will be married. And I say this all the time. Becky is the greatest finesser of men most of the time. They play the long game. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. A lot of black women play the short game. They have no tolerance. They leaving with nothing but a bag, nothing but a little bit of, maybe of dignity, a little bit of cash. They leave with nothing. Becky leave. I was married for 10, 20 years, 30 years. I got some properties and, stuff. But guess what? The streets is cold for either one. But at least she leaving with some assets to live off of for a while, right? So that's what women got to understand. We don't measure each other like y'all measure each other. A woman is also to be measured, and they gonna lie to y'all in the comment section. Somebody going, they measure by if they got a man. How long they retain a man if they get a ring out of a man. That's how they measure them. I've seen it way too many times as a younger person, going and family did togethers, and they talking about a woman because she never come back, she never coming with a man, she never got a man. I done heard stories where, a woman in the family found a man, and a man of her dreams, and they ran the man off. They ran the man off. Facts. They ran the man off and then talk shit about her. She got bamboozled. She got hoodwinked. I done seen, brother bring in, get rid of his black wife and bring in a white woman. They dogged the white woman. I done seen it. They measure, a lot of other women measure themselves by the man they get. And not even just that, how long they can keep them and stay married to them. you know, that's just one of them things where I say, y'all hear what they say. I don't need no man, and dude, it's disheartening when even if they got dudes that's beating the guts up, but they can't bring this nigga to the family get together. They can't bring him around the family. They can't build a family. Can't take him nowhere. This is why they love Pookie and Tyrone in silence. You know what I'm saying? Once they get a certain age, but they love them in silence once they get a certain age, because it's embarrassing when you're young. Oh, I didn't know. They love them in silence, but they can't really take them where they want to take them to. So, but they gotta understand, we don't measure each other. If you talk to the average man that's married, they gonna tell you, don't get married. Don't get married without kids. Don't get married. I remember a dude told me, I'm lifting weights. I told the story before. 6 in the morning. You know, I'm letting him, before I go to class, we in the gym. And he told me, he was like, yo, young man, come here. And what's so funny, I was squatting 400 and it rolled off my neck. Real no cap. He was like, man, you all right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, man. Then he came back. He's like, you okay? I remember this man, I seen him from time to time at the gym back in the day. He was like, I guess, you know, he just went to the gym. He's like, man, I just want to tell you, man, don't get married unless you have kids. Kids keep a family together. So basically, if he wasn't married, he was going to leave his wife. For everything I seen, he was a solid dude. And one thing I learned about going to the gym, I got a lot of game from the old heads in the gym, a lot of game. I done worked out with dudes that went to jail for murder. I done worked out with dudes that was in there for 20, 30 years selling bricks. I done worked out with guys that run businesses, and they see me to this day, and they like, damn, I remember you was 10, 15 years ago, and it's all love. Remember, I ran into this dude. I moved out to the burbs, and he must live out here. I ran into him twice. I moved out here a couple years ago. When I was moving that U-Haul, we ran into each other. He said, you don't even remember me. I was like, I do. And I think I ran into him about a month or two ago. And he was like, even we was talking whatever, and he was like, you know, I was like, I still remember you told me, like, when I go out and I have money in my pocket, throw it in the save jar. Because he had I think he had like a car service. He's like, throw it in the change. I always still remember that. Well, extra money, just save it. Great advice. But yeah, we don't measure each other by being married. That's not how we judge our success. Now, our success might be, some niggas might judge a woman based on how bad this bitch is. And that's terrible. I think you rather judge a nigga on his marriage. How bad this bitch is, yeah, that's terrible. A lot of times the badder the bitch in this era, any era, the worse that bitch morally and character-wise is. You heard me? So, that's just what the deal is. So, but yeah, I mean, women try to put these things on us to shame us. Or they try to treat us like we them, and they try to beat us. That's not gonna work. Why you ain't married my daughter? I mean, well, you know your daughter ain't shit. You know your daughter lazy. And I used to get that type of shit where everybody like, I'd be in a relationship and I'd be like, you know, I learned that you can't complain. People don't care about what you're saying as a man. Anything you're going through, people don't give a fuck about it. And you know, I had a situation where somebody kept dealing with the person I was dealing with, right? And she was like, you put up with all that this many years? And I'm like, yeah, but nobody would try to hear it, would not listen to me, right? She's like, I don't know how you did it. I'm like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, they don't care what you're going through and the struggle you're going through, bro. They always gonna have a sympathy for the woman. You know, he cheated, but they never talk about what led him to cheat. And they'll sit there and say, well, he cheated, I'm divorcing him, I'm leaving him, he's terrible. And she be telling this to our homegirls, and our homegirls said, bitch, you done cheated like 50 times. You done cheated 50 times. Like, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, we don't measure each other like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? We hold each other accountable, like, but we ain't, we measure each other on bank account. We measure each other on morality, character, being solid. I lend you something, you lend it back. You know what I'm saying? Leave you the wing whacker. I ain't got to ask for it. You know, punctuality. We do that on that. Men are usually very Hey, man, we going to watch the Michigan game at Twin Peaks at 8. Niggas gonna be there at 8. Am I lying? Niggas gonna be there at 8. If he late, yeah, man, Yvonne was tripping. She didn't want me to go out with the boys. If he late, you know what I'm saying? Like, real spill. Tell me I'm lying. We be on code. We be on time. But we don't measure each other based on that. We ain't gonna say why you like if we tell a dude why you ain't married Tammy yet, like that's a rarity. He gotta bring it up. I'm thinking about marrying Tammy. What you think, man? What you think? I remember the dude I used to be cool with. He asked me, hey, I'm like, man, I ain't telling you to marry her. But if we do on a rare occasion ask why you didn't marry Tammy, that means because we think Tammy's an outstanding woman and a great woman for you. And you probably, if the bros say that to you, you probably 9 times out of 10, unless it's something we don't know, you need to marry that woman. Unless it's something that we don't know, 9 times out of 10, you need to marry that woman. That's a fact. So, I mean, that's just where I'm coming from. But yeah, we don't measure each other. Our success may be measured in, being solid, being able to be trustworthy, punctual, maybe based on how the bad bitches you fuck. I mean, that's when you're younger, or when you super duper older, your punctuality, your IQ, your whatever, your business acumen. Yeah, we not measuring you based on if you married or not. That doesn't define a man. Now, in that business world where they need to hold leverage over your head, it does. But different story for a different day. Appreciate y'all for supporting the channel. Hit the link in the description. Join the Patreon. That's where the real channel at. Thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Peace.